Well, hello, welcome once again to Stuff and Things, where I like to talk about stuff and occasionally even things. I'm your good friend Bradley, and today I'm going to show you the process I went through when I ordered a custom pair of NYX boots. Now, a while back, I received this boot. Well, I actually got a pair of boots. This is just one of them. This is the NYX Urban Logger. It was sent to me by a very generous person, Ben from StitchDown.com. And I was absolutely blown away by these boots. You may have seen my reviews. I did a couple videos on these boots. And ever since I received them, I have had a thought in my head of trying to order a pair of custom boots from NYX. They have a lot of options for ordering custom boots. Their boots are pretty much handmade, amazing quality. And I really wanted a pair of engineer boots. I've been wanting them for a long time. I'd like to do a video in my Timeless Style series on just a classic American engineer boot. And so through a bunch of finagling, saving some money, putting some money aside, I finally got to the point where I was going to order a pair of custom NYX boots. I got a little bit of a discount, a 30% discount, and I just want to show you what it's like. There are so many options. I was kind of confused. I actually was communicating with NYX through email, just trying to clarify some of the options that are available. So I thought it would be useful for people who are thinking of ordering a pair of custom NYX boots themselves to have me go through a lot of these custom options. I'm going to use the Pullman as an example. They have two styles of engineers. The Pullman is their newest one, but it's based on a much older pattern. And maybe you would find it useful to see the options I chose when I ordered my custom pair of NYX Pullmans. So let's look at the screen. So NYX offers a custom option for the Pullman and also just their standard option. In the custom option, there are so many fields that you can go through here to select what you want. And that's the cool thing about NYX boots in general, is they just have so many options. So if we go here, Pullman custom configuration, you start with this, buy with confidence. I understand that NYX recommends ordering a half size shorter than my normal size, and I can return and exchange my boots if they're in like new condition. So you would select yes. Typically, when you're ordering NYX boots, you want to go with a half size down from your Brannock size. So the Brannock device, you know, that metal thing you put your foot in when you're buying shoes at a shoe store, that will show you your typical standard American size. Mine is 10.5D. NYX recommends you order half a size down from that. So then you have hardware configuration here. No buckles, both buckles, top buckle only, bottom buckle only. If you select both buckles, it's more expensive. But with an engineer boot, you typically have the buckle at the top and the buckle at the instep. I understand that I may experience heel slip and that NYX recommends ordering a half size shorter than my standard NYX size if I want a more snug fit. So with their pull-on boots, I had often heard that you want a half size smaller than your NYX size. And if your NYX size is already a half size smaller than your Brannock size, you would go a full size smaller than your Brannock size. I asked my contact at NYX about that, and they did recommend going a full size down from your Brannock size and a half size down from your NYX size. So for me, 10.5 in Brannock, 10.5D, I would do a 9.5D in NYX. I'm a little worried about it, but the person I spoke to at NYX recommended that, so that's what I selected. We have fitting method here. I've already ordered NYX, use that size. I know my size. I've used NYX DIY sizing guide, and I did use NYX guide, and I also asked the person at NYX, you know, what they thought the best options would be for me. And so you can select whichever one is true there. Boot length, we recommend choosing half size down from Brannock, but that's also, if you want the snug fit, you would do a full size. So for me, I chose 9.5, and you don't change your width. Your width should be the same regardless. So 9.5D. Now the last, there's the 55 Classic Arch and the HNW Moderate Arch. So basically, if we get a picture of these boots here, this is the Classic Arch here. So it's a pretty high arch, but that's what I liked. I have a high arch, the Classic Arch, in my NYX Urban Loggers. So I knew I was going to want that. It was already very comfortable for me. So for me, I chose the Classic Arch. But the Northwest, the HNW Moderate Arch is a little bit of a lower arch. So if you think you might prefer that, you can select that. Now the leather style, this is when things get very complicated. There are so many options. I knew I wanted black because I wanted it to be just a very classic standard engineer boot, but there are so many different options. Basically, if you go to Nix, you can get their buying guide here, and they have leather options. And they'll show you some pictures of all the different leathers. There are also some great videos that they've posted on their YouTube channel just going over all the different leather options. So I'd recommend maybe checking those out before you decide for sure. It might be best to think of a color you want and then go look at the different options for those colors. I ended up choosing the 1964 black, which is available here, 1964 black. And I did all smooth. So you can do combinations of smooth uppers and then rough out, where basically the leather is inside out in a way. You have kind of the nappy surface out. That's supposedly more durable, but I wanted it all smooth. So I did 1964 black, all smooth. It's a 7 to 8 ounce leather. Pull loop, if you want a pull loop in the back of the boot like this. I did, so I said yes. Toe structure. Now, you can do a soft toe where there's no added structure other than just the normal leather in the boot, or you can do a celastic toe with this particular style. Other styles of Nix boots offer actual steel toes, they do composite toes. I decided to do soft because I wanted it to be able to crease and not be bulbous. Apparently the celastic does add a little bit more of a bulbous profile to the toe. And that was another question I asked when I was talking to my contact at Nix. So I chose soft toe. You have heel stack. Moderate, 3/8 to 1/2 inch leather stack. Classic, 5/8 to 3/4 inch leather stack. And then not applicable for wedge soles. I chose classic. I like the slightly higher heel. That's what I've got on these Nix Urban Loggers, and I find them really comfortable and really cool. I think they look good too. The outsole, this is a big one too. So you have Vibram 100 lug, 100 lug honey, 100 lug red X, 2021 sand wedge, that's only with the HNW last, 430 mini Vibram, V-bar, V-bar half sole, 269 Western, or a full leather sole. So again, a ton of options. I can't remember if they actually show, I don't think they do show all the different outsole options here, but I think you can find it on some of the different items in their website if you're looking at different boots that have different sole options. I did some research on this and I chose the, where is it? The V-bar. So it's Vibram again. It's not as thick as the 100 lugs in the boots I have here. These are really beefy. A lot of grip, but these are for work primarily, and they do carry a lot of mud, gravel, things like that, and I wanted something that was more for casual wear. The V-bar is still apparently very, very durable, but it's not as beefy, not as thick, and it doesn't add so much to the profile of the boot. If you look at these have the V100 profile, or the lugs as well, and I didn't want something that beefy for these boots. So again, that's the kind of thing where you might have to look up all those different options, but you can find that online and see what they all look like. I chose the V-bar. So we will select that here. Then the edge color. You can choose whether or not the edge is finished. So here, this was finished in natural. So there was nothing really applied to this other than I think a wax or something. You can have that colored brown, you can have it colored black. It will eventually wear out anyway, so it'll eventually just all become this color. You could always use an edge dressing if you want to bring that back. I chose natural because I think, you know, it's the maintenance I'm going to do on these boots is mostly just oiling them. I'm probably not going to be polishing, I'm probably not going to be touching the edge up, and I figured just pick natural. Then we've got heel profile. Now this is interesting. You have block, dogger, or logger. And if you don't know what these heels mean, it might be kind of confusing. So the logger is like this. You can see this profile here. It kind of comes in. It's actually the pattern left by their sander that they use as they're finishing this. So it's not a straight line down. It has a little bit of a curve to it, and that's traditionally what's been used in logging boots. I really liked it on this. I like the look of it on these urban loggers. So that's what I selected. The block is what it sounds like. It's basically just a heel that comes straight out. There's no slant to it at all. And then the Dogger does have a slant, but it doesn't have this curve like the Logger has. So whatever you think would look the best on your pair of boots, you can select. There's just so many options. And then they have add matching leather swag. No thanks. I understand lead times. So lead times are an interesting thing with these boots. You don't necessarily know exactly when they're going to be done. I've seen anywhere from 9 weeks to 15 weeks. I've been waiting a little over 5 weeks so far for mine. I just got a notification saying that they were going to be worked on, and in the email it said it might take around 3 weeks from the start date of the boots being worked on to them being completed, so it's looking like I might be around 8 or 9 weeks. I think it depends on the style you're ordering, how often they do a run of those particular boots, because they're not just getting an order in and being like, okay, go make these boots, and it's not as though you're in this big line of individual people having boots being made for them. They have runs of different styles, and then they'll put custom orders into those runs. So for me, it's looking like around 9 weeks. And there you go. Then you pay. I was able to get a 30% discount code. You can find those occasionally. They have sales occasionally. The full price is probably more than I'd be willing to spend, but these boots do seem amazing. And I'm really looking forward to receiving my Pullman custom configuration boots from Nick's Handmade Boots. I will of course be doing a box opening when they arrive, but hopefully this video helped to make sense of all the different custom configuration options you have with Nick's boots. Obviously there will be some different options for different styles, but using the Pullman as an example, that's what I ordered when I ordered my custom Pullman Nick's boots. Stay tuned for the box opening and the full review once they arrive. Hopefully they fit. But until next time, until we meet again, I've been your good friend Bradley. You've been the audience. This has been Stuff and Things. I'll see you later.